2 times in one day. I had to come back and talk about what's really happening in South Africa, because the media will have people thinking that there is something wrong happening here, or the president, right, is saying things are happening, things are bad. I want to talk about what's really happening here in South Africa. All right, welcome family, welcome to the live. We're doing 2 in one day because I have to talk about this. Spoiler alert, we're out here getting glam, launching our content, our platforms, our media platforms, because our real estate business is growing so fast. Investment is happening in the country, and it's happening so fast that we're building a team and we're building a media kit to help it, okay? This country is going through a transformation, nevertheless, but it's definitely not for the worse. And there is no such thing, there's no such genocide. People are thriving. Is everything perfect? Absolutely not. Are there people suffering? Yes, as there are everywhere. But the people of South Africa are resilient. They are unified amongst themselves, even in their differences. And they are pushing forward without the nonsense and enjoying themselves. Enjoying themselves. But I know a lot of people in the West are concerned, right? They're like, well, what's happening? I'm nervous. Thank you so much. Soup Cooler Slipwear. Thank you for joining. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. CJ. Hi, big brother. Hello. Truth is Energy. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Yeah, so let's talk about what's really happening, because what's happening is not what the media is saying is happening. And I'm going to take questions from you guys so I can answer all of your questions about South Africa. What is really happening? Yes, there is a Land Reformation Act where the government has finally created policy around the return of land to those who it actually is due. Colonialism, the colonialization, right, of South Africa meant that South Africans, indigenous South Africans, lost their land to the settlers, to the British settlers, and to the Dutch, the so-called Dutch settlers, right? So these folks got land. I think I went on a historical tour and they said it was 3 days. So basically the way they gave people land was someone could ride on horseback for 3 days north, then 3 days east, then 3 days south, then 3 days west. And that was how they marked their land. Imagine 3 days. And this was indigenous owned land by the Black South Africans. So finally, in 2025, policy has been enacted so that those folks whose land was taken is being returned, but many of them are getting paid. Many of them are getting paid for that land. Are they getting paid what they want? Probably not, but neither did the Black South Africans. Right? So are things perfect? No, but there's no such genocide happening. And it seems to me, based on the online chatter, the online chatter, that South Africans are basically like good riddance to said Afrikaners seeking asylum. I would like to apply for asylum. South African government. I'm just saying. Right? Soup Cooler Slipwear. Soup Cooler's looking good. Oh, okay. I don't know if the misclassification of refugee is illegal, but our president has done a lot of illegal things and is still the president. So he does what he wants because people elected him. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Yes, it's flourishing. Hey, I'm having some raspberry leaf tea, mint. It's late here. It's 9:30. I rarely go on this late, but Ali, with the makeup on the beat today, I had to come back. I had to come back and share what's really happening. So people are purchasing real estate. People are starting businesses. We were just filming yesterday. Amazon has built its whole headquarters here. Do you think a multi-billion-dollar corporation would come to a place where there's a genocide and build an office for people to work? I'm just saying. Hi, Audrey. I love you. So, no, there is no genocide happening. In fact, despite their political differences, despite their racial differences, South Africans live in a unity that is unlike anything that the US or Canada or the UK has experienced, right? So I just commend the South African people. They are active online, but I know many of you in the US, you're worried, family, friends, like, oh, how is this impacting life there? We're doing photo shoots, shooting documentaries, shooting content for our growing real estate firm here in Cape Town. And our firm is growing through South Africa. We just got a new listing. We got a 5-acre land listing in Johannesburg, right, with pre-approved plans and architectural design for a development for 12 units, right? Lem, I don't know about that. We've got 5 clients that are Black South Africans that own over 12 properties collectively between them in the Atlantic Seaboard, just in the Atlantic Seaboard. So this is also misinformation, right? Is it the majority? No. But is it also not existent? No, it's just incorrect, right? So it doesn't belong to the white people. And in fact, it belongs to South Africans. And I think the more that South Africans say that, it allows them to feel irresponsible or like they don't belong. So what we focus on grows, and when we say things that are negative about our place or where we belong, we start to believe those things. I know I was guilty of that, constantly repeating things about how disrespected the Black woman is. You internalize those things that you say because you begin to believe them. This, Cape Town's belonging to white people, that's just not true. Colored and Black South Africans. I mean, I was just at lunch. My friend, he's Black South African. He drives Bentley and he lives in Greenpoint in an oceanfront facing beautiful penthouse, right? So thank you so much. Let me see. You're still considering Cape Town, but you hear there's a lot of negatives as the segregation is still noticeable. Yeah, I would disagree with that. Segregation amongst races or classes. So what we do need to discuss is, even though America is a classist society, it's actually forward-facing racist, subconscious-facing classist, right? Because you can be a rich Black man and still be gunned down by the police, right? But you can live, but if you're poor, regardless of what race you are, you're still not going to get ahead in the U.S. Many countries, including South Africa, many countries, on this side of the world and Eastern nations are very classist. So what you are seeing is segregation amongst a class of people. And the minorities are the wealthy here. But there are also more millionaires in South Africa than there are in any other country on the continent, right? And Cape Town is the second wealthiest city in Africa. The first is Johannesburg. So, I mean, you hear a lot of negatives. Have you been? I would consider I would get you to consider taking a trip, experiencing your own thing, and not listening to what you hear, because those things that's just not, it's not valid, right? It's not valid. Global sister. It's your perspective, right? Which is valid, but it's not your perspective. It's someone else's perspective who's influenced you to believe that it could also be your perspective, right? So take a trip. You won't regret it. It might not be for you, but isn't it amazing to experience something for yourself and gain your own perspective on it versus listening to someone else about theirs? I don't know, just my thoughts. The irony is, as a Black American, you have a stronger case for asylum because of police brutality and mass incarceration of Black Americans continuous. Hello? I already know. My glow since you've been really good. Thank you so much. Thank you, Soup Cooler Slipwear. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hi, Nzali. Is the president of Burkina Faso having an effect on South Africa? Not in my experience, but what he is having. So let me not say, it's not specific to South Africa. What the president of Burkina Faso, His Excellency, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, he is essentially unifying the global African diaspora. And this is why he is a threat to the West, because the West has been so instrumental in keeping us divided. Not only is diasporans to continental Africans, but even on the continent, there is separation and division amongst countries. In the cities, there is separation amongst, tribes, and these things are very intentional to our demise. So anytime we unify, it's up. And so the president of Burkina Faso is unifying the global diaspora, and you are seeing South Africans supportive of His Excellency. You are seeing the world really rally around his success based on continuous African leader after African leader after African leader being taken out by the West in fear of their own liberation and their own independence. So I hope I answered your question. We're going to talk more about this. I'm going to go live on Sunday. We're going to really talk about Captain Ibrahim Traoré. I'm going to have his name properly. So that's what we're going to be talking about on Sunday, a little bit more, but it's definitely a positive. Nothing to fear. Thank you so much, Global Sister. So are you selling this land back to Black people? Well, it depends on the buyer, right? This is in Johannesburg. And yeah, most of our clients, we have a huge amount of African-American clients, but we also have South African clients. We also have Nigerian clients, Kenyan clients, Congolese clients. We have Black British clients. We have Black French clients. So the goal, right, is to sell it to people who see value in owning income producing property for themselves and their families. Right, and we also have some affordable housing projects coming as well, but that's our goal. Is it all Black folks? No, it's not. It's not all Black folks, because for a reason, as someone in the comments, Lemlem, people believe that Africa is what they believe it to be based on lies that they've been told, based on misinformation, based on limited belief systems, based on complete fake news. And so unfortunately, Black people are more damaged when it comes to the perception of Africa than non-Black people. And so we're selling to those that are ready to invest and do business. And it's not waiting for the diaspora. All right, it's not. So what you coming to buy something? You coming to buy some land in South Africa? What's up? CJ says, how do you get people to see this as a positive thing? Black Americans relocating to Africa and white Africans moving to America. I am not interested in getting people to see it any other way than they see it, while also inviting them to shift their mindset. Because if you're a forward thinking, critical thinking person with agency, you have gone through many mindset shifts. And you've realized that there was a lot of things that you thought you knew that were keeping you in the same space. So I just move in the energy that I am in, and those that are meant to see, and those that hear. Those that need convincing take a little bit longer, and I'm totally okay with that. So the way that what people do see as positive is the fact that I am here going on 5 years, and as people can see the difference in my entire vibes, my energy, my conviction, my confidence, my, the way that I support clients and the way that I help people transform and get to the continent, whether it's through business or tourism or investment. I hope that answered your question. I'm beyond the point of convincing people, but I am going to inform you and share my perspective. Beyond Feisty says Cape Town belongs to people with money. Well, that too. I don't have money. I have joy. I have vision. I have freedom, right? So I'm here in Cape Town. I have vision, I have ambition, I have purpose, I have focus. And I got some friends, we're all in growth mode, right? So that's my beliefs. So Jemmy says, what are some tips for young Black Americans looking for something different and entertaining the idea of coming to South Africa? What are the opportunities like for young adults? The opportunities for young adults are the opportunities you create for yourself. All right. So earlier I was talking about the use of AI prompt engineering. Everyone should be learning skill sets around AI prompt engineering to create solutions to big problems, right? The easy tasks are going away. The hard tasks are becoming easier. And the extremely impossible tasks are the ones that are becoming hard, right? So that's how you have to look at engineering your own opportunities in this new generation. Nothing is going to be handed to you, whether that's in the US or abroad. But I will say that your ability to adapt and become a generalist and a person of critical thinking is the opportunity that you need to create for yourself. All right. All things nice, but people has experienced it until recently. Segregation is there. It hasn't stopped me from pushing forward. Okay, perfect. Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, no, this is Africa. This is our abundance. Right? This is where humanity originated. And so if you know that, then you know this land is blessed. Now, is there conflict because of what has happened to our ancestors? Absolutely. But if you're blessed and you're connected to your creator and you're moving with intention, purpose, and conviction about who you are and what you're here to do on this earth and serving others, you will thrive and you will be okay. Yes, Cape Town is amazing. As a Black-skinned person, it was noticeable as I have been. Yeah, I mean, it's noticeable. What is noticeable is that people have said, and I was even one of these people, Cape Town is for this certain class of people, this certain race of people. Cape Town is in Africa. It is in South Africa, which is in Africa, which is the land of melanated people. We are entitled to abundance all over this world. So that's that on that. How do you justify living in a society where you're under attack 24/7? Nobody worries about that. The same people worrying about the white people in Cape Town are living amongst white people that are committed to destroying you in your country. So I just don't understand that part of thinking. Like, why are you so worried about people in another place when in the place you live right now currently they are clearly showing you that they don't value you. They don't value your life. They don't value your children. They don't value your women. They don't value your men. They don't value your families. But you're worried about their presence. And I get it, because their presence is a trigger to the trauma that you're currently experiencing. And it may not be Cape Town for you. It didn't start off as Cape Town for me. It started off as an all-black country where everybody was black. And that's what I needed to see everywhere. I needed to see black people only. And I still saw white people in Tanzania because white people are everywhere, because they've been coming here for centuries. They knew what they were doing when they divided us as a diaspora. And so I am inviting people to reconsider their lives in a society that is leading to their destruction financially, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. But we're afraid to explore what we could experience with freedom from those spaces. I'm just saying. South Africa is a massive country. There's Johannesburg, which I love, which is a lot more African, meaning the majority of people, because the majority of people in Cape Town are African. They are Black African. The concentrated areas of Cape Town where you see a lot of people is where tourists are. And these tourists are European, Asian, even American, Australian, right? So just consider. I'm sorry, I don't know where you're. Is the goal to have the property owned by the native people? Which property? Would you like to hear if your housing project will be in Kenya next month? Torn between Zanzibar, Kenya. I said, why should I do that? Say. I mean, so what I love about South Africa, cost of living is fantastic, right? Cost of living is fantastic. And if you need creature comforts of living in countries like the US, the UK, you can get those things here in South Africa. The modern luxuries, international cuisine, food delivery, even Amazon is launched here, infrastructure, roads, shopping, you're gonna get that in South Africa. Now, the people are also very welcoming, very friendly, and the people are just great. They're great, and so they make your experience a lot better, especially when you show a respect and a desire to integrate, speak their language, understand their culture, and be compassionate to the experience that they've had and that they're currently still having in rebuilding their country from a tragic past, right? Between Kenya and Zanzibar, I mean, Zanzibar is island living. I love Zanzibar. I'm in Zanzibar regularly. I just left Zanzibar last month, right? It's not even been a month since I've been, but Zanzibar is island living, so it is slow. The infrastructure is not there. There is no movie theaters in Zanzibar. There are no real malls. I mean, there's like a new mall that just went up, but it's not like where you're gonna go shopping. But Nairobi is amazing. Kenya as a country is amazing. It's very similar to me, like Tanzania wise, from a landscape perspective, where you've got the oceans and you've got the city and you've got the bush, and it's just, Kenya is fantastic. Kenya is also a westernized city, but it's not as Western because, well, I don't want to say that because it's not really true. It's just a different vibe, but you've got a lot of Western influence in Kenya, a lot of international NGOs, and, you know, they are in Kenya. They love Kenya as well. It's just not as exposed to the European community. Like, it's not like a playground. I think South Africa, Cape Town specifically, is like a Malibu, Miami Beach, but better. So much better. So much better. All right, perfect. I'm glad that was helpful, CJ. Yes, Shar says it's truly a mindset. You've got to educate yourself on the global economy. It is such a mindset. AI should also be used responsibly. Yeah, I mean, responsibly is relative, right? Because who determines what is responsible? And who determines, I don't think it's being used. Hi, Auntie Ann. Hi, miss you, love you. What number would be necessary to buy a property prior to arriving? It depends. It depends on what your needs are. There are properties for $100K all the way up to 2 million, up to 5 million, 10 million. It depends. Is it land? Are you developing? Is it a block of pre-construction investment properties? Like, it depends on what your needs are, right? So I would never tell you how much you absolutely need, because I don't know what you need it for and what you want, but we do help buyers in the due diligence process, because what's more important is that you're getting access to a property that is sound, that is free of any bad issues, tax liens, which here they call them VAT holds. You want to make sure that what you're purchasing is with a reputable developer that is essentially going to deliver on their product on a timeline that is feasible for you, that it's also going to allow you to build wealth and not subject you to double taxation, right? That in the event of an early death, that this property can properly be transferred over to people wherever you are, regardless of wherever you are in the world. Those are the questions that people often don't ask, right? They just ask about the money, which is okay. But you want to work with a team of advisors when purchasing property abroad to make sure that it really is in your best interest. Okay? So definitely DM me and we can introduce you to our team at Skyline Attorney Realtors. We are the only firm that exists here in South Africa and probably on the continent where our entire team of realtors, excluding myself, I'm not technically a realtor, but our entire team of realtors are attorneys that specialize in real estate law and transactional law. Fantastic. Is Durban worth checking out? Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you guys just don't really know where to start and you're interested, go ahead and comment guide in the live chat. Comment guide and you can get my really small price, right? But full of value, $27 kind of workbook to help you work through the steps you need to take in order to successfully figure out where you want to go, how much it's going to cost you, what type of lifestyle you could potentially live there, what challenges might arise, right? So I've really gone through this in detail for people that want to know where to start. So comment the word guide in the chat so that you can get this guide sent over to you and really begin your journey to life abroad, because the way this economy is looking over there in Western countries, everybody about to feel it. And I'm not saying we're not going to feel it here in South Africa, but it might as well have a lower cost of living with the intention of investing and doing business in a developing country versus a declining one. I mean, developing versus declining, which way am I going? Because unless you believe that the future of your country is going to surpass the future of other countries at this point, you're betting against yourself by continuing to reinvest your income, your time, the last years of your life in a society that is stressing you out. I'm just saying, Immortal Pan-African, welcome. All right, so what else do y'all want to know? Are there any hurricanes? No, not in Cape Town. Not to my knowledge. There are really intense winds. Load shedding, haven't experienced load shedding at all this year. I think one day back in March, maybe, but it was like one day. And it was maybe for 2 hours. So yeah, guys, I'm really tired. You can see I'm a bit sleepy. I'm drinking my tea. Thank y'all for all the kind words, and my makeup looks great. Yeah, so we are shooting. Our business is growing. Our lives are thriving, right? There is no such genocide. There is transformation happening, and everyone isn't happy about it. But what a better time. What a better time than now to say, you know what? I'm out. Thanks, Shar. All things nice food and spice. Yeah, or even if Kenya is your choice, I'll be in Kenya. I'll be in Kenya in June next month. Yeah, June, July. So I'll be in Kenya next month, and we have a team in Kenya. We have a team of people that will help you register your business, set up your business, purchase property, right? But we do due diligence, right? Get you on your first discovery trip. So making sure you're feeling Kenya. All right, take a trip, go there, experience it, right? Unless you're so spiritually connected that God is like, this is where I need to be. I think it's always important to go and visit a place when you're feeling like you want to relocate there before just jumping and doing it. I did that, but I'm a pretty big risk taker, so I've learned that about myself. All right, what else, y'all? What else? Let me see. Do you still want to join the live? Oh, you'll be there in June. Okay. Oh, fantastic. I'll be there. Oh, there you are. Oh, okay. Bye. So maybe, yeah, I'll be there June, late July in Nairobi. So, you know, we have a vetted team of experts and advisors. You don't want to go about this journey alone on a new continent, in new countries, new culture, new languages, right? You want to have trusted advisors on your team. And I've done the groundwork for people in this community to be able to reach out and get access to these trusted advisors that can support you in this next transformation of lifestyle and legacy, as well as wealth creation. Don't play around with your future. Don't play around with your life abroad. Get in community with experts who can support you and people that have done it for many people, right? So, welcome, Conrad. I'm about to hop off. It's late, it's 10 o'clock. I'm tired. It's way past my bedtime. But I wanted to just jump on, let y'all know what's really happening in South Africa, because it's not a genocide. It's not a genocide. In fact, Jazz Festival just happened. What's happening next? I think Durban in July. Tons of food, festivals, film festivals, groove. Things are good in South Africa. And if you want to experience it, you're welcome to, right? But definitely make sure that you do your research, right? So if you don't know where to start, you want some information, go ahead and comment the word guide, and you'll get that guide sent directly to your DM, right? So you can get information just to know, right? Like just to know how to start and get confident about your next steps. I talk a lot about investing, but I recognize a lot of people aren't ready to invest. So I've created a full toolkit so that you can know what you need to do so that you can take the next step in being confident about your move abroad, specifically to South Africa or another African country on the continent. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining the live. And until the next time, I'll see you soon.